EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to one of our favorite spots, venerable Soldier Field in Chicago. Today, boy, what a matchup. Two NFL franchises with so much history, so much tradition, getting set to do battle here. As it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Chicago Bears. The final weekend of the summer. Hope you're enjoying it wherever you are as we are off and running on EA Sports. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line.
Ready up.
A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. Excellent job pushing through tacklers that time to pick up 6. This defense for the Bears, very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
Yeah, and what stood out to me on tape, the way they were flying to the football. So that tells me that they've got all their assignments down, and they're playing with extreme confidence.
Davis now. Throwing into traffic there, and that's complete. Give him 10 there. Good enough for a Packer first down. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47.
Extra receivers don't spread the defense out. They were able to come through with a slashing run.
But to that point, it's going to be interesting to see the personnel chess match as this one progresses.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Can they continue to create running lanes out of passing sets? And if so, it's going to be a long day for the defense.
Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll go in the books as a 7-yard loss on the sack, and it's third down.
Third down. 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. On third down, he'll drop to throw. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he's going to come up a few yards short. Brought down at the 45. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down. On now is the Packers punter. As the first drive of the game stalls out, he's on to punt. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And did they keep it in? They did. They kept it in. It's down close to the goal line at the 1-yard line. Amazing. Perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll manage to pick up about 4 at 2nd down.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings. 2nd and 6. To throw, Williams. is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on third down. To the air, Williams. He'll try and do this himself. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there.
Well, he was looking at a dime formation, 6 defensive backs on the field. So he's looking for anyone to throw the football to. But he didn't have anyone open, so he took off and ran for it. But he came up just short, and that brings up fourth down.
And he is out of bounds inside the 35. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Packers will have a short field to work with here as they take over 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's able to work his way down inside the red zone to the 19-yard line. 14 yards, good for a Packer first down.
Anytime you hear the term an explosive run, most teams I know define that as any run over 10 yards, and they got that and more. How about a lot of credit for the big guys up front? That offensive line.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack.
They just gave up a sack there, and if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are, and I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist, because right now, the quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Well, that's an old play caller's trick right there, right up there with run the ball inside the tackles on first down. You just watch your quarterback get sacked on the previous play. Now you let those defensive linemen penetrate again, hoping to get their hands on him one more time. But this time, he's got the perfect call dialed up, and the screen burns him for a first down.
No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Back to throw. Davis. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Throw left side to Higgins. That time 12 yards on the pass play, but still shy of where they needed to go. 4th and goal.
And that big gain may just change the thought process here on 4th down. I think in the red zone, they might now consider going for it on 4th down.
The offense is staying out there. Here we go on 4th and goal from the 1.
19.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. It's their quarterback. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Packers take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Now for the point after. And it's good to make it 7-0 Packers.
Makes the score Packers 7, Bears nothing.
So the Packer kickoff team set to go as they will kick this one away. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
Throwing is Williams. This one complete. It's Rashee Rice. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. They'll try and run for it with Jones. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. A Chicago first down there on a gain of 11.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. After the run by Jones, here's 1st and 10. Hands it off out of the gun. And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. To throw, it's Williams. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete. Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6. And 3rd and 8 now.
And I think he just wanted to give the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down. Here's Williams. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
Here comes the Bears punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And that will bounce out of bounds before they can get a return going.
At their own 19-yard line.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Winless to start the year at 0-2, and now they get the Thursday night game here in Week 3. So I don't know, does the fact that they're back out so quickly, Charles, help or hurt their cause?
Oh, I say unequivocally help, because you always wanted Thursday.
Touchdown, Packers! Bijan Robinson, his 2nd rushing touchdown on the year. And the Packers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Boy, I got to say, I don't know how he made it all the way to the end zone without going down. What a run.
Absolutely incredible that was, because defensively you're taught to break down, wrap up, but in this
for the extra help to get there. He just kept getting out of tackles all the way downfield and found the end zone.
Will kick this one away. Right after the touchdown to extend their lead, now maybe opening the door a little bit there by allowing. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Here's a give to Jones running left. And he tried to bounce it outside, but they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Looking to throw is Williams. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Rice. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
And this may be the one to build on right here. It's the second quarter. They've got nothing on the scoreboard as of yet. They need to put something together, and this is a good start as they get the completion there for good yardage and a first down.
They'll look to throw now on first down. That's caught left side, Burden. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last two plays. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. Looking to throw. Williams. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And out of bounds right around the 20.
Brings up 3rd down.
The Bears on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. Back to throw. Williams. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Well, they've certainly not shied away from throwing the football as they've leaned on their quarterback to start this game. 4 straight passes right out of the gate, with that last one earning them a new set of downs.
Jones, no signal, and now they say he did not get in. He is stonewalled at the 1. Call it no gain, and it's going to be 2nd and goal.
This is a critical sequence here for this offense. Things really haven't gone their way so far. This could be their chance to get back into it, but they've got to find a way to punch this ball in.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal. Jones again, and this time he'll get in. Touchdown Bears. So that now 6 touchdowns for him on the ground here so far this year, Charles. And it's week 3. What kind of a season might he be embarking on?
Well, we both know it helps to have fresh legs early. And they're going to ride him a lot as this year goes on. But one other thing to keep in mind, as you keep having success, you actually have built up some momentum. Your body responds to that as well. So I see no reason for this to slow down anytime soon.
So after the field goal, Riley back out as he'll send this one away. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. Well, partner, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was. There he goes left side. Touchdown, Packers. Bijan Robinson. That's career touchdown number 131, and it ties him with Chris Carter for number 8 on the all-time list. And the Packers are able to strike quickly here as they are in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead now stands at 13. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32.
At their own 32-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Now, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
Now a 2nd and 10. From the gun, here's Williams. This one swung out here to Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A good pickup, 17 yards and a Bear first down.
1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Williams loses the football. And this ball recovered by the offense. But remember, they cannot advance it here in the final 2 minutes of the half. So this will be blown dead, and it'll come back to the spot of the fumble. So they keep the football, but now face 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Williams. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Back to throw. Williams. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
This defense has certainly played well so far in this game, and the coverage has been tight on just about every throw. Forced a few here so far in this game, and now it brings up 4th down.
Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on here to punt it away. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Johnson to return it. And he'll take a shot at the end of that one, and they'll begin right there.
Ready.
The Packer offense ready to get their next drive underway. Still more than a minute to go, so there is time if they want to mount something here.
Not only time, but they have 3 timeouts at their disposal as well. So that changes everything that you're doing here. Without those timeouts, you can only work the sidelines, hoping to get out of bounds. Here, the middle of the field is still available because you can call timeout and regroup.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Ready. Cowboy 80.
Looking to throw. Davis. That's taken in by Franklin. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. Here comes 3rd and the length of the football.
Get it. Hawk 70. Hawk 70.
And the slot man goes in motion left. Davis now from the gun on 3rd down. That is caught. And he's going to have a Packers first down as they're able to move the sticks with a gain of 4 on 3rd and inches. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
19 Tiger, 19 Tiger. Go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
As this old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out high. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Let's go. 70 Lions. Ready, ready.
Back to throw again. Gonna let one fly for Robinson. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Okay, break.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Throwing left sideline there, but it's incomplete.
That might be the 3rd down stop that they needed because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
What is up?
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he's going to lose yardage, not that it matters, as the final seconds tick away. The Bears going to see the football first, and they trail here as we get back underway to start this second half. Oh, and a nice return, but he takes a big shot at the end of it.
At their own 30-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I established the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield.
What is it on? Here we go.
Back to throw. Williams. Going right side here, and that's complete. And he's got this down to the 35. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that can really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. They'll wind up losing 8 on the sack there, and it's second down. But defensively on the previous play, they gave up a pretty good chunk of yardage, but right there, they got a good portion of it right back.
And if we just flip it around from the offensive perspective, took a nice step forward, and how about a couple of leaps backwards after that play? They've got to figure out a big call coming up here to try and gain that yardage back.
Looking to throw. Williams. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And, he takes a shot at the end of that play.
An 11-yard pickup leads to 3rd and 6.
The 25-yard line is what they need here. This is 3rd down.
What is it on?
Operating from the gun, Williams. And this is going to result in another first down as the tackle's made at the Packers' 19. Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20.
What is it on?
And inside give to Jones. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Pass to the right side, caught by Burden. And he is in. Touchdown, Chicago. Luther Burden, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Bears are back within a score. Ryland on for the extra point. The PAT good. It would draw him closer, but hold on just a second. A flag is down on the field.
Chad Ryland to kick off.
Ryland now following the touchdown, back out to kick it away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. Man, I just love being in this stadium. So much history, tradition, so many great teams and games, and we're seeing a pretty good one right now, hotly contested in the 3rd quarter. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
Go! 70s.
Back to throw. Davis. He finds his man, complete. That's Delgado. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. It's a gain of 12, and the Packers have the first. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
You think about the great receivers in the game, what do they have in common? The ability to create separation in their routes. Whether it's a head fake, a sharp cut, selling a different route, the subtle bump. It's a tough skill to teach. And this is well done here to get open and pick up the first down.
And showcasing those strong legs on that run. Getting through one tackle. Now she winds up getting 8 there.
It's a gain of 9.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
From the 24, Davis. This is caught. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. 23 yards on the play.
Oh, nice job there putting the ball right in the doorstep of the goal line. Couldn't quite get in to pay dirt, but he got awfully close. Let's see if they can cash it in over the next couple of plays.
And he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Bijan Robinson. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Packers are able to stretch out their lead. The Packers keeping the offense out there now as they'll go for 2.
The Packers will set up for the 2-point conversion.
Let's go.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more.
Packers 28, Bears 14.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but Charles, they looked up and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Looking to throw. Williams. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, they approach this drive with a lot of confidence. Throws, has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down for the Bears.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Looking to find a lane, but he can't rein in at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
At their 48-yard line.
Operating from the gun, Williams. Packer pressure, and down he goes. That winds up pushing him back 11 yards on the sack. And that'll bring up third. Here is third and quite a ways. Operating from the gun, Williams. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on third down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. Here comes the Bears punter now, as he's on to punt for the fourth time tonight. And they won't get a chance to bring this one back. It goes out of bounds, back near their own 20. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because which will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
This 2nd and 4. They'll run again here with Robinson. And he'll be taken down after a minimal pickup, and that will take us to the end of quarter number 3. Back now at Soldier Field. It's Packer football here, as they've got the lead as well to begin the fourth quarter. The Packers on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Operating from the gun, Davis. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Runs through the contact. 13 yards the tally on the return there. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news. But this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Back to throw. Williams. He's going to float this one deep right side. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And they're at the point of the ball game now where they've got to take some chances. They've got to put the ball in the air and just see what happens. But this defense knows that all too well.
And that one too far in front. He couldn't reel it in. It's incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Looking to throw. Williams. Now he'll tuck this and run. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They'll go. Here's Williams. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Again, he'll drop to throw. And that's going to be incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
2nd and 10. Up the middle, Jones. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A gain there of 12 yards and a 1st down for the Bears.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Back to throw now on 1st down. This is intercepted. And into the end zone. It's a pick-6 and a Packer touchdown. And that pick-6, that was the first turnover forced by the defense in this ballgame, CD.
And what's even better is when they finally forced one, they kept the effort up and were able to return it for a score. They could hear their defensive coaches saying to them, hey, getting the interception's great. Can you do more with it? Turn it into a big play. And they did exactly that.
So they throw the pick-6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
31-yard line.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
I think this offense, specifically this running game, they're going to have to find a way to turn the page because they haven't found a way to run it effectively thus far, and it's cost them.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. They'll keep it on the ground. Anthony. And he'll be tackled at about the 35. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
3rd down and 6. Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. The Bears tried it on fourth down, unable to convert. And the Packers are going to get the football back in excellent field position.
Ready up.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down.
Get it. Cowboy 80.
Robinson up the middle. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and to big yardage all night long.
So a 5-yard run the other way in the wrong direction, and that leads us to 2nd and 15.
Come on. Back. Cougar 19.
Again, it's Robinson. They're going to drop him behind the line yet again, and things going from bad to worse. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long.
2 things to watch. First is strength and being able to break out that initial contact. But at his size, once you slow his momentum, it's hard for him to get it started again and end up tackling him behind the line of scrimmage.
The offense on third down tonight, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 16.
Viking, hey, kid, go.
And a big hit there. That was a man coming with bad intentions. And it's going to bring up 4th down. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. On now is the Packers punter. As the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Well, they got the ball already. They're not going to risk the yardage and running another 4th down. They decline it.
And what was that they taught you in law school, that possession is 9/10 of the law?
I didn't go to law school.
Oh, you didn't? I thought you did. Well, I'm going to give that to you anyway. Possession is 9/10 of the law, and it's 9/10 of this game, too. Having the football counts.
You're so litigious.
What is it?
A give to Jones. 45 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
What is it? Hold on.
Now the toss to Jones, running right. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Any team that runs the toss and runs it successfully, that means they win the battle on the edges. That means you seal the edge in order to let your back get to the corner. They got it done there for a very nice gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. They'll try the left side. Anthony. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
At the 38-yard line.
The give is to Jones. So it's all over. A Green Bay victory, and maybe more importantly, a victory in the division, which always helps.
And on the road. How about all of that rolled up into one? Because how often do you see division games get decided by this much of a margin?
Yeah, they thumped them.
Yeah, they jumped all over them. And a division game is usually a touchdown or less because these two teams know each other better than most teams in the league. In this case,